You're listening to Lave Radio, the hottest show this side of Dizzo.
Scanners full with non-human sources. This little boat ain't no match for those forces. A threat levels going higher and higher, yet meta hours are my only desire. I'm on a mission to unlock some lady who can take this little boat and make it jump crazy. But as I head out to the Pleiades system, I'm pulled from my jump by an unknown organism. A noise reverberates, shaking the hull. Goliath turns me, my senses are dull. Yellow light tears, searching right through me. A dark call that leaves me in pity. Power returns, lights flash, so slowly hit the boost highway. Take me home, please, early. The beast turns, I see it open the black. The screech just jumps when it could have attacked. What are they searching for? What did we take from them? What do they come here for? History entwined with them. This talk of Hulks found out in the black. The Adamastor surface attacks. Rumor says they found alien technology. To me these ones seem more like biology. A Homo sapien, a core from the past. With their dark ops was doing stuff real fast. But the ship's drives failed, it was stranded for centuries and had to return here at sublight speeds. Corporations fighting for control, deciding our fate before we could even know that we are not alone. We are not unique. Life is here and past our sneak. What are they desire to win, it swings lower and lower. Project Michael, it was not what it said. A holocaust knowingly planted and spread. John Jameson's guilt has been found, yet the deed had been done and hidden deep down. And now it seems the Hesperus was found with more dark deeds that credit surrounds. Sleeper cells, gassing the innocent. What did they take? Why were they held back deep in the void? Messages sent, artifacts found, humanity's discontent once more returns to the fore. The credits will kill a threatening carnivore. What are they searching for? What did we take from them? What do they come here for? A history entwined then. What are they searching for? What did we take from them? What do they come here for? History entwined with them.
Sat there, just going back and forth in this old boat, just like a ship in a bottle. You came round, hopped on the bridge and took command, and so we sailed into the night. I could have set a course on my own, didn't know which way was North Star or even Sagittarius sail, not on a rough sea, but just floating free from the bottom. And you said, let's just see where the jump takes us all together. Let's jump together. And the systems fell, we scanned them all. We put our names against those first discoveries, wonderful memories. The sectors passed, we own them all. Some phenomenon were notable. We took some shots to show our friends some things they won't believe. All the things that I have said, all the places I have been, oh, I have crossed the void. They won't believe. Yeah, I've looked into the eye. Yeah, I've grown a lot since you all hopped aboard that night. I sat there, just going back and forth in this old boat. Just like a ship in a bottle, you came round, hopped on the bridge and took command, and so we sailed into the night.
System scan complete.
Yellow stars turn peacefully, solar flares arc over me, and everybody knows you scoop before you go home. Heat gauge rising gently, tanks refueled so quietly. Our jump comes into view. Let's head to somewhere new. Who knows what the next system holds, what sights we'll see. Oh, let's be bold and fill our screens as we look for mystery. A pulse wave booming in the dark returns to us the hope of somewhere safe for me and you, somewhere we can escape to when credits ain't alcohol, a planet to call home. Let's keep chasing every dream, a ring so rich, oh so pristine, no one has to know. Our bookmarks won't be shown. One day we'll own this whole damn place. First footfall turns into a settlement or two, named after me and you. Our fleet will be security, no one will mess with us. Everybody has a dream, and jump into the black becomes a scheme when credits don't mean grind. You leave that far behind. Everybody has a dream, jump into the black becomes a scheme, and everybody knows. Scoop before you go. We love you.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous,
and the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the current Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 501 of Lave Radio, the show about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Psychit, and joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar for this episode are our SRV Banksy, Commander Alec Turner.
Evening all. The next 500 begins here.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. We have the excellent, wonderful Chris Mark 4.
501st time lucky, everyone.
Here we go. Here we go. I reckon we've just about nailed it. There is no Ben. We have no Ben this week. We have no Colin this week. Both of them have been struck with lurgy. Joining us as our super special awesome guest is the incredible, wonderful, spectacular Commander KayteeKhaos.
Oh, wow. Talk about picking me up.
Hello. I
Hello.
know, right? I know. We also have doing our tech and contributing to the Talkie Talks. We have, he's my favourite, but I'm kind of biased. The Chris Mark 5.
Hello.
Hello, that is you. That is who you are. Hello, friends. Hi, it's good to have you here. Welcome in. If you wish, you can join us live. We are hanging out in game in open in the bar in Lave. I say we, you're hanging out, Chris. Am I right?
I am hanging out at the usual reserved table in the bar.
Spectacular. If you can't get in game, though, you can also join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live, clicking on live chat, and on twitch.tv/laveradio. Other platforms are available. Come join Twitch, it's cool. Right, hey, we made it. We made it through episode 500, gang. It's the end game now. I don't know why I said that.
Don't like the sound of that.
We're winding down now to episode 1000. That's when it's
Twilight years.
Yeah, we peaked at 500, so it's all good. Hey, how you all doing? What have you been up to? Let's start with Alec. How you doing, mate?
Hey up, I'm good. I've been super busy in game. Out of game, I don't know. I got a new PC for my son, so I was setting that up to I don't know, just trying to stop Windows from popping up notifications every 5 minutes from every corner and just making it a bit friendlier to use. Took longer than I expected. Took most of the weekend. But anyway, all done. Lovely new PC. Yeah, in-game, crikey, I've been busy. I've been doing a lot of buckyball. We'll come on to that later. I am allowed to take part in my own race. We said so at the beginning, so I've been doing that. But I've also been marking everybody else's scores. So yeah, lots of that. I've been doing loads of on-foot engineering. I'm trying to give this a proper go now. I'm not always enjoying it, but I'm persisting. So I ran into a couple of interesting things. For the first time ever, I filled my inventory. I'm just running around picking up anything. And I notice I need to ask Razafrag about this, but I've got ED Copilot, and some of the things I pick up make a rude noise, and I suspect it's ED Copilot telling me they're junk. I need to ask him about that. But anyway, I finally filled my inventory because I did a mission. I was looking at what I could engineer, and I needed some stuff. And I went, like I said last week, I went and found a mission, and the mission had stuff, so I did the mission, and then I couldn't accept the reward. And that was annoying because the game doesn't tell you why. It's just grayed out, and it's just like, well, why? Why can't I accept? You know, you get 3 options when you get a mission. You can take the money or the credit. It just wouldn't let me accept the materials one, but no indication why at all. So, you know, I had to figure out for myself that my inventory was full. So then, what did I do? It was very frustrating. So it's like, okay, I guess I need to get rid of some junk. So I installed and ran Odyssey Materials Helper, and then figured out that told me which stuff was junk. So then I went to the bartender with this brilliant plan of just selling all my junk. And I can't remember what the first thing on the list was, but I couldn't find it. I was sort of scrolling down the list that the bartender would let me sell, and the thing I wanted to get rid of didn't seem to be in the list. So it's like, oh, so I can't sell it to the bartender. What do I need to do? Do I need to go to a planet and just drop it? And I thought, that can't be right. That sounds ridiculous. So then I looked closer in my sort of inventory panel and realized it wasn't in my backpack, it was in my ship. And I thought, oh, okay, I've got to run back to my ship, transfer it from my ship to my bag, then run back to the bartender and then try and sell it. So I did all that, and that still didn't work. At which point I think I probably threw the computer out the window and went to work. and then I asked in the burr pit, and I was like, okay, how the hell am I supposed to empty my inventory that's full of all this crap? And people were saying, you know, it should be in the list. It should be in the list. So the next day I went back to the bartender, and guess what? Well, you already know. I'm sure you all know this already, but the bloody list isn't sorted alphabetically. It's like in
definitely
chunks.
Isn't.
It's like in little chunks that are alphabetic, and then another little chunk that's alphabetic, and then another little chunk that's alphabetic. Now, I know I've said this before, and charge your glasses, everyone, but this, honest to God, how hard can it be to sort a list into alphabetical order? I mean, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I feel that viscerally. I really
So
do.
then basically what I did is Odyssey Materials Helper, I meticulously found each thing that was listed as blue, I can't remember what wording it uses, but basically useless, irrelevant, I think is the word, and then found it in the list of the bartender by literally scrolling up and down the entire list very carefully until I spotted it, and then selling it, and then finding the next thing, and then so I have sold all of my junk, and now I need to work out how to stop picking junk back up again. So I've done all that. So I went to the inventory, and I just unlocked Kit Fowler today, and he's introduced me to somebody else, Yarden Bond. And I think what I want to try and do is get myself some night vision for starters.
Oh, nice. Very
But
nice.
it's even with all the engineering changes, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. It really is. Anyway, I enjoyed the buckyball.
Okay, excellent. Chris Mark 4, how you doing, my lovely?
Oh, not bad, pal. Not bad. Doing all right.
What you been up to?
Do you know what? Not a huge amount. I have been working my way through the Spider-Man films. So I've been off to see yet another Spider-Man. On Friday night, it was Andrew Garfield. We're now up to Amazing Spider-Man 2. And not wanting to sound too much like J. Jonah Jameson and being send me pictures of Spider-Man, but tomorrow I'm going to see the second Miles Morales one with a live orchestra through in Glasgow. So lots of Spider-Man for some reason at the moment.
With
so
a live
apologies.
orchestra.
with a live orchestra and a live DJ, because that one's got all the scratches and stuff in the soundtrack. So yeah, it's the big multiversy Fimby one. So got that tomorrow through in Glasgow, which I'm looking forward to a lot. The travel through to Glasgow, not so much. Going and seeing it with live orchestra, yes. So got a bit of that tomorrow. Otherwise, I have been sort of doing lots of radio stuff and other bits and pieces to keep me busy. In game, I've not had a ton of elite time. What I have done is I have been out defending Lave by shooting pirates around about nav beacons and things, simply so I can steal their engineering materials when they die. That's been it. I'm not interested in their cargo. I'm not interested in their bounties. What I want is the wiper blades off the front of their ship. That's what I'm hunting for at the moment. Outside of Elite, I am still working my way through Mass Effect, the first Mass Effect. Following a guide. Game. Yeah, I'm following a guide written by a streamer you might know, and it's telling me what I'm supposed to be doing when. It's telling me where I'm supposed to be, so that in this playthrough I don't make an absolute howling arse of it.
It's supposed. Full disclaimer, it's just supposed to make it more of a cohesive narrative for you. The making a complete arse of it, that's on you, my guy.
That is 100% on me. I am not a very good Commander Shepard. It's something to do with me being a commander and not very good. It just combines together between both games. So yeah, that's my current sort of in-game stuff at the moment.
Incredible. Hi, husband. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Good. How was your week?
It's been all right, all things considered. Saturday, failed to get Oasis tickets. Mildly raged at Ticketmaster and ticket scalpers. Other than that, in Elite, I've been doing more rescuing escape pods. Oh, is my audio really loud now?
It's a bit loud, but you're okay.
Hang on, I can fix that.
That's too much.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Cool. I've been rescuing escape pods and black boxes and wreckage material from stinky Thargoids, and then dropping the people off at rescue ships. But I've never managed to get any material rewards for doing this, so I don't know if I'm not doing enough or what it is, but never mind. Yeah, just trying to help out with the old Titan malarkey, and that's it.
Okay. Cool. Hi, Katie.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing, my lovely? It's been quite a while since you've last been on the show. Thank you so much for coming on and being awesome. How are you doing? What have you been up to? What have you been up to recently in Elite? What have you been up to in life? Hey.
You know me, always busy. I've had like 3 weeks off work pretty much, so that's been great. But now I'm back there. Oh god, the last few days I binged watched the heck out of KayteeKhaos on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen that. Nothing to do with the fact that it's the same sort of last name with a slightly different spelling. It's like this Greek mythology thing with Jeff Goldblum. It's darkly funny, but it's got a cast like you wouldn't believe. But honestly, I binge watched it in a day. It's something else. Go catch it out.
This is the new thing, isn't it? Is it good?
Yeah,
it's
like so good. I mean, it takes something to actually catch my attention for that amount of time, where I will watch like 2 or 3 episodes before my brain goes off wanting to do something else. In game, apart from also watching stuff while I'm in game, I don't think I've played so much Elite than I have in the last couple of weeks. I don't know. I've suddenly really got my mojo back for it, and I'm absolutely we're in Elite right now. So that's been a lot of BGS, for a certain Soteria record.
I've heard of them. I think they're neat.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're all good peeps. And funny enough, like Alex said, a lot of us doing engineering of one type or another. I don't think I've been so interested in engineering for a long, long while. I'm just slightly addicted to it at the moment. So
That's
buying
cool,
new
though.
ships. Yeah, it is. But the funny thing is, I definitely tell other people who are really into it too, because I turned up at the Jameson crash site to get some mats there to just run into Commander Diana Rigg, who was there as well, who's somebody I knew, to just randomly run into them at the same time, because everybody's farming the mats right now. But yeah, that's pretty much me for the last week or so.
Incredible. Awesome. What have I been up to? I took my husband out to lunch to commiserate the fact that we didn't get any Oasis tickets. That was a thing that happened. What else have I been doing? In Elite, I did a lot of buckyball racing. I'll come back to that. I did an awful lot of buckyball racing, and it was an excellent race. Highly recommend checking out all of the buckyball races. Also, do recommend actually submitting times. That's something that's something that helps you get onto the leaderboard for sure, but it for some reason that eluded me this time. What else have I been up to? Played a bit more No Man's Sky. Looks like there's gonna be a new No Man's Sky update coming real soon. What else? Oh yeah, okay. Talking of Mass Effect, I've got fucking Insanity 3, lads.
Oh yeah, I heard.
I did it. I did the thing.
Well done, I guess. I have no idea how hard that is, but it sounds hard.
It was tricky. I did the last bit. I saved the very, very last mission for stream so I could have a cry.
Does that place you on some kind of world leaderboard?
It doesn't, but the achievement glows. If there's less than 10% of people have an achievement, I think if it's less than 10% of people have an achievement on Steam, it glows gold. Cool. And I think when I completed that achievement, I did take multiple screenshots of it, but I think it's like 3.3% of players, something like that, have 3. Yes. I'm really, really proud of it. I did then go out and pre-order the Mass Effect board game, which is coming out, which I'm really excited for as well, because I'm nothing if not consistent. And then I logged back in on Saturday and did 2 more achievements that I hadn't done already. So that was quite cool too. And both of those glowed gold as well. And then now I feel like I'm completely lost and I don't know what game to play when I sit at my computer anymore. It's really weird because I do love playing Elite, but I've got thousands upon thousands of hours in Elite. And sometimes a change is nice, you know? I love playing Elite. I love like our Elite Thursdays and stuff. And I love talking about Elite on Lave. And now I'm like, what's the next game that I can also try an achievement hunt in? What happened? Who is she? What happened to her? But yeah, that's been my week, pretty much. So moving on, as Colin would say, to our development news. What have the devs said this week? We were at the end of the month, so it's it
was a big FU.
We had a big FU. We had the Mandalay got revealed.
Nice, isn't it?
I mean,
very sexy.
She's a nice looking ship. She's a really
from the underside, but luckily all of the shots are from above, so
everyone's got their flaws. It's chubby. It's medium ship. It's a medium ship. We don't know a huge amount about it yet. We know that it's a medium ship. We know that the engines flap up and down. We know that it has similarities to the Mamba, from what they were saying on stream.
Yeah, look at that cockpit.
Yeah.
Totally Mamba.
But it's nice. The Mandalay is a Cobra. That's not the ship, but the actual Mandalay The snake
Oh,
that it is named
I see.
after.
Sorry. Yeah.
I realise now that was weird. The snake that it was named after is, I think it's a Mandalay spitting cobra. But I didn't see anyone guess that it was called the Mandalay, and yeah, that's cool. It's a cool thing.
It is beautiful. Did you see the thing that the birds spotted, which I find really interesting? So
About the wings.
Yeah. So the deal with the new ships is their variants in the sense that Frontier aren't remodeling cockpits, which I think saves them a lot of work. So this is the Mamba cockpit, which means you can basically match this cockpit on the Mandalay to the Mamba cockpit and judge this, pretty accurately, I think, judge the size of the entire ship. And the wings, as they are, they won't fit in a medium. They won't go down. When the pad goes down, the wings ain't going to fit. So something has to give. Do the wings fold? Do they retract? Have Frontier miscalculated? Has the person who matched this to the Mamba cockpit cocked up their, I don't know. But on the face of it, it doesn't look like it's going to fit down the hatch. So I'm fascinated to know how that's going to pan out, because it's very hard to see a join line where these wings could fold.
So step 1, buy Mandalay. Step 2, try and use the elevator to get your ship into the docking bay. Step 3, explode.
Yeah, I love the idea of the landing bay thing, descending, and then the Mandalay just being left rocking backwards and forwards on its wings.
There's those things where there's definitely videos of this where you're trying to get owls into small places and the owls are stretching out the wings so they won't go in. Feels like that. That's the vibes that I'm getting. The thing to make, the thing to sort of maybe go, okay, maybe it's not quite that. There's a reason that it's on a grey background, and these are the grey box builds.
Yeah.
So it's arguable that the wings might be a bit smaller when it actually comes into the game and they go, oh shit.
Sorry, Karen.
I wonder, actually, just looking at it, if the wings drop right at the root of the wing, see whether it's attached to the body there.
Oh, right at the root. Interesting.
Yeah, because there's lots of fighter jet stuff in this, in the design. It's even got air intakes on the front. Why would it have air intakes unless it was an atmospheric thing? But
it's so beautiful.
Conversation, but yeah, I mean, you get fighter jets where they fold upwards, but like you say, there's no hinges. But if you look right at the base of it, there's definitely a seam there, and from the back of it, I wonder, would it drop, and then that bit that overlaps going towards the engine, maybe that sticks upwards. I don't know. I'm just obviously guessing, but yeah.
I also had a moment
kind of droop at the sides as it comes down. Yeah.
Like it's lowering its wings, bring them into its side.
We have a picture of it on the ground though, right? Or is it just as it's
we
dropping
do.
to the ground?
And there's no sign of those wings folding.
Yeah, that's a point.
Maybe they only fold when they get to a platform or a platform that they need to.
Or maybe they haven't done that bit yet. As you say, it is concept art still, but it's
grey box.
It's lovely. It's lovely. There was another thing. I think we just showed a shot, but there's a shot from the front where you can see the large kind of underside, and it looks for all the world like a big ramp is going to fold down and let you drive the SRV out, which would be glorious. But unfortunately, there's also a shot landed, as you say, where it turns out that's the human ramp. But for a moment, I thought, oh man, can we actually? There's a shot now on the stream, although there's lag, so it won't be what I'm looking at. But it would be so awesome to just. There's one of the Thunderbirds, isn't there, where they literally drive the wheeled vehicle sort of out the door at the front.
2.
Yeah,
two's got the little container in the middle that thumps down, and then you can drive out.
That's Thunderbird 4 goes inside Thunderbird 2, and that's a submarine. I didn't know that it also had a car. Does it also have a car?
It also has a car because you can put different containers inside Thunderbird 2. So then, depending on the container, depends on what you do. Like it's got a little drill thing that they can drive out, and then they can burrow.
That can go to the center of the earth.
They've got the they've got all sorts of stuff. The Thunderbirds, they've got all the cool stuff.
My
Let us have
good
Thunderbirds in space,
Lord.
please. Thunderbirds in space, please.
Thunderbirds in
Frontier.
space, please.
How difficult could it be?
I'm sure FAP 1's driven out of Thunderbird 2.
Probably
Lady
probably
Pele's
now.
car.
I can see that. Yeah.
This is a wild
Welcome to the
moment.
Thunderbird podcast.
Amazing, incredible. Okay,
It is gorgeous, though, isn't it? Frontier are really knocking it out of the park with these ships. They just
They
look like
really
a whole new
are.
ball game from the old ones somehow.
It's the thrusters. It's the vertical takeoff thrusters. They look so cool. I don't know how they're going to operate in game. Is it just that when you deploy your landing gear, suddenly the thrusters flip down, or is it an altitude thing? That'd be so cool.
It's going to be the sound of a slide whistle. That's what
Yes.
Frontier, so well known for doing amazing sound, with the one exception of the engines where it's just a slide whistle. Job done.
I mean, that could be the concept audio. We know that they've
100%.
had confetti in the doors before and all sorts of other things. Maybe it is a slide whistle.
You know it. Maybe that was the thing that Robin left as his legacy when he went. Cool. We also had a couple of forum posts. There was a forum post about the Thargoid Counter-Strike rebalance, which I haven't looked at this.
Yeah, they've pulled some levers.
Yeah, there was
Counter-Strikes and pod rescues and stuff.
Yeah, it's basically like, hey, we're trying to balance this so that it happens. We finish the Thargoid War by the October update when Power Play 2 comes out. So we've moved a slider, so that's going to happen again. That's basically what I read there. And then also, there's a big thread on the forums. I think if you're listening to this the week of release, this is one that they're going to be closing on Friday, but there is a link in the show notes. There's bits on Twitter everywhere with Elite Dangerous, your Power Play 2.0 questions. And this was a post from Paul that went up last Friday asking for any questions that you might have about Power Play. And there's 15 pages already, multiple from a lot of people that you would expect to see.
Getting quick, and you can get the 300th question in.
Jesus
299 at the moment.
Wowza. So yeah, there's a lot of questions that have gone in there already. I imagine that they're going to go through those with a fine-tooth comb and make a do something on the next frame. What's it called? Not Frame to Fly. Frontier Unlocked.
Frontier Unlocked.
We'll get there eventually. We will remember that eventually. On the next Frontier Unlocked, they will do a segment with a bit more information about Power Play. I don't know about you guys, but I get the distinct impression that Frontier think that they have given us more information about Power Play than I feel like we've actually digested.
What makes you say that?
I don't know, but I just think.
I mean, they've told us pretty much everything. They've told us that there's going to be vending machines and billboards, and the colour of the floor is going to change. And there's something
blue.
you can
It's going to be
blow
blue.
It's going to be blue. Oh man,
it's going to be blue.
That is a callback to one conversation.
I kind of get what you're saying, Si, in that like to go out and go, hey, anyone got any questions about this thing we've vaguely described so far? Is like bold move. How much do you think you've told us already? Because we've got questions.
See, I was the opposite view. I think they've gone out and asked because they're not sure they've given us enough information. So they're trying to get to the core of what people want to know about rather than just whatever. So
yeah,
because I don't think they know what to tell us, really, and they want to kind of figure out what people want.
How does it work? It's all very well telling us what it looks like, but how does it work? What's the gameplay? What does it
Yeah,
do?
I've got a question there, which is like, how do non-power play aligned factions stop a power play power from taking over? Because at the moment, from what they've told us, you can't unless you sign up with another power
Yeah.
play. So that's kind of a big question for me. Is
Mm.
that?
Yeah, it is. I just I just think that it is that they gave us this big presentation showing us all of these cool things that we were going to get, but they didn't get into the crux of it, which is something that they do quite regularly with regard to BGS and things like that. It's very much a work it out as you go kind of thing. But with something as divisive as power play, I think there's very much people are either incredibly engaged with it, like Colin and Rubber Nuke and folks along those lines, or there are people who like the BGS or don't even like the BGS or haven't even really touched power play, with the exception of going, okay, what do I need to do to get Prismos or another other power play rewards are available. And I don't think working it out for ourselves is going to cut it this time, because to some extent they also need to sell power play if it's going to be more of a player driven economy. I'm doing it again, aren't I?
Yeah, I could feel it going that way.
Yeah, but if it's going to be something along those lines, it needs to be sold a little bit more, because even now I'm still like, I don't know.
I tell you what, I've used this analogy before, but going back to the classic game of Risk, because they also showed us a galaxy map kind of change. I feel like what they've done is they've showed us the box and the counters and the board, and maybe the stack of cards that you put in the middle and flick through those and go, these are this, but they haven't shown us the instructions.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
this sounds great. How do I play this game?
How are you feeling, Katie?
I'm a bit looking at actually like some people in the chat there. I'm a bit meh about it because there isn't the info there. That's pretty much it at the moment. I love BGS and I love doing that side of it, but the power play stuff doesn't grab me, and it never really has grabbed me. And at the moment, I'm just not interested. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah.
It would be good if they put something out there that piqued my interest, but at the moment, I don't know enough to sort of say, "Wow, yeah, okay, I want to engage with it."
Yeah.
Okay.
I want it to. I want to care about the powers. It seems like they ought to be really important. You know, there's me piddling around buckyball racing and things, but all these big political machinations are happening, and I do genuinely want to care about them, and I feel like the game could make me care, and Power Play 2 is the thing
Yeah.
that would do it. I just don't know enough about it yet to know if it's going to make me care.
Yeah. And the one thing I think something that would potentially put me off is if they blended sort of, like, you can do the BGS and you don't have to worry about power play, but if they became really symbiotic, that would really, really put me off. And I hope that that's not the case, but it doesn't feel like we've got confirmation in the affirmative or not. And I think that's also your problem as well, Chris. 5 is around that sort of thing as well. But I suppose we'll probably do a question of the week about it, and talk about it a little bit further as we get closer to the next Frontier Unlocked. However, at this point, I think we should go and talk about what the community's been up to.
Do it.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
Yes. So, Nicey is back with yet another blog entry. I think I even spotted this one last week, but I'd already got a couple of blogs from Nicey. This is the one on the Mandalay, right? A sort of.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't actually read it yet, but they're really nice, very easily readable blog entries from Nicey. So we've got the link to that in the show notes, and I guess it will touch on what we're going to hit on the main discussion as well. There's a couple of videos that I wanted to actually I've got a bunch of videos, but these two I wanted to shout out in a particular context. I'll describe them first. The first is a video called Wander from Slamscape X. It's a one of these really beautiful Elite Dangerous exploration montage videos. I think it's actually a couple of weeks old. I missed it last week because we had too much in Community Corner already. But yeah, lovely exploration montage video. And also a video from Orange Phoenix, who I haven't actually seen doing much recently, but it's called T8 Explorer A Day in the Life, and it's a nice, just a short 2-minute video kind of showcasing a bit of T8 exploration stuff. The reason I was going to bunch these two together is I spotted both of these on Just About, which I know there's been a lot of talk about, and we haven't touched on it, and I thought it was just an interesting opportunity maybe to touch on Just About for a second. So my thoughts, I'm hoping most people have seen what it is. It's something that Frontier themselves sort of shouted out. I think Frontier are kind of funding it, and it's basically a website where you contribute, you give, it's a bit like the screenshots competition or whatever. There are threads where they want the best screenshot of space exploration, or they set up these things called bounties. And bounties is basically a challenge to the community. Can you write a guide to mining, or can you show some screenshots of exploration, or can you give the latest one that just dropped today was, can you do give us some nice ASMR videos of Elite? And you can actually, in theory at least, get cash for these bounties. So the bounties themselves have some sort of cash prizes. I think they sort of pick, and so the best one maybe they're sort of like $1 or $2 or $3 or something. Sometimes they go up to 10, and I think maybe the best one gets 10, and the runners up get $1 each or something. There's some little clauses that you can't actually cash it in until it's up to the value of 35. I'm up to about 20, so I might actually get some cash out of it one day. I'm not really doing it for the cash, but it's interesting. I feel like it met with quite a lot of cynicism and skepticism from the Elite Dangerous crowd. It does more than Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous is just one corner of Just About. They do all sorts of things to do with gaming and stuff. I feel like it got quite a skeptical reception, from myself included. It wasn't helped by the fact that very early in its launch of the Elite Dangerous stuff, they promoted a video which had a kind of copy-pasted generic spaceship that had nothing to do with Elite Dangerous in it, and everyone freaked because they thought it was a new Elite Dangerous spaceship, and it wasn't, which is a bit of a faux pas. And they also kind of cocked up slightly. They had one of their bounties was about show us how not to play Elite, and somebody did the old Hutton run, go to Hutton to get a free Anaconda joke, and they didn't get it, and sort of said no, that doesn't fulfill the the rules of the brief, when it absolutely did. But those aside, actually I have to say I think I've been overly cynical about it, and on the whole my experience with it has been great. The mods have been lovely. I've had quite a lot of to and fro where I haven't quite followed the rules in the stuff that I've submitted. They've been lovely. There seems to be a lot of really good writers at their end, putting together the sort of outlining the bounties and writing pieces that announce the winners and stuff. There seems to be a lot of, really nice, well-written effort going in from their side. I think my only hesitation with it is I'm not entirely sure who the audience is. I rather feel like it's just a bunch of content creators fighting over the bounties, and I don't quite know who we're performing to. I don't know if it has an audience outside of the people that are contributing to it. But on the whole, I have to say I'm quite enjoying it. What do others think?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? But because it seems like a platform that's there to generate community in a game, right? So if you're if you were launching something or you had a community that wasn't really doing anything, you're like, oh, how do we encourage people to make stuff about our game? You'd be like, oh, well, we can tempt them with some freedom pounds, and we'll put freedom pounds together. But one of the things that I've never felt about the Elite Dangerous community is that it's quiet. You know what I mean? It's like if I was pitching this to a community, I wouldn't necessarily go, do you know what community never makes any stuff? The Elite Dangerous one. It's like, because every week we have a list of amazing stuff, and there are things that we miss on a frequent basis as well that we don't spot, right? So kind of going all in on this. It's not just Elite Dangerous, it's the other platforms and the other games and stuff as well. So it makes sense. And from the point of view of creators getting rewarded for their work in a way that they might not get off of posting on X or YouTube or whatever, I don't really have a problem with that. It just, my instant cynicism comes from free money. When someone goes, hey, just do what you normally do, but maybe post a picture here and we'll give you freedom pounds for it. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Free money?
Yeah. I'll let you know. Another couple of weeks and I'll have my first $35 and I should be able to cash it in.
Yeah, I mean, I personally haven't engaged with it myself, but I agree with you, Alec, in that it feels very, very cyclical. Cyclical as in there's the people who are going there to post stuff and answer the questions are the audience. So there's it doesn't, it's not like generating reach. And then when you're submitting bounties, especially if they have their pictures or things like that are required, it has to be linked from another social media site. You don't just upload the video.
Yeah.
Or I'll upload a picture to Just About It. It's a link to another social media site. And so they've just Frontier. I didn't put this in the development news, but Frontier are doing a competition at the moment for pictures of the Mandalay, and or pictures of exploration to win early access to the Mandalay, and everything that people who are on the partner program receive, that kind of thing, and that. But that's not on Just About, and it feels like.
Yeah,
they've done one thing on Just About and then one another thing,
and Frontier do every week their stellar screenshots, and they still do that, and they and there's some overlap between the stellar screenshots and maybe some of the bounties that Just About put up, and so you're gonna get the same screenshots on both, and I don't mind. I'm entirely happy to put it on both. I mean, but it does feel a bit odd.
Yeah.
And also, the other thing I was going to say about Just About is that there's no. You were sort of saying about how vocal the Elite Dangerous audience already is, and how forthcoming they are with their content creation. So, I mean, I don't see anything in the rules against it. I feel slightly bad for doing it, but pretty much everything I've put on Just About is really quite old. I've now got such a backlog of videos and screenshots of Elite Dangerous that anything that Just About can think up and say, post us something about this, I've got it covered. It's like, hang on, I've got a video about that somewhere. So I'm just recycling old stuff. I don't know. I like that it's getting a new audience because I'm quite proud of some of my old stuff and I don't really care about the money. Anyway, I thought it was interesting.
Kate, what about you?
I've got various thoughts. I don't know do you think maybe it's not specifically aimed at the current content creator crowd that are out there? Is it about dragging the wider sort of Elite Dangerous community into engaging with the game on a different level and to get them, creating it on a lower level? Because
I mean, it might.
The
first of today's videos from Slamscape X is like, I've not come across them before. They don't have, I don't think, many hits or followers, and they've obviously spotted Just About. So it's nice. It is obviously giving exposure to some.
Yeah,
because a lot of current, creators have gotten so much of their own stuff going on anyway that I've looked at this and thought I haven't got the time to do that. I'm just trying to do what I do anyway. And I don't even
I don't know
stream
what you're talking
that
about,
much.
Kay. We've got loads of time.
But that's exactly it. You know, is it about those folks who feel like they want to dip the toe in and just feel like they're included in that whole. I think it's probably a good way of getting people sort of involved in that creation and feeling a part of the game as a whole. It's just pulling people more into the whole background because they've got the themes around these tasks as well and they're tied into the game. So, yeah, maybe it's just about engagement.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I say, I really like, once a week Frontier takes the best of the screenshots and they make a little montage video. And that's it. I don't want to. It's nice what they do. They set it to music, but that's it. Just about kind of write a whole piece. When the bounty has finished and they're presenting the winners, they write a really nice piece of prose about the topic, and they list all the people, and there's a lot of effort coming in from their end to present the final results of what's been submitted in a really nice way, I think. So I don't know. Yeah, it seems all right to me. Anywho, cool. Should we move on?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right. Okay. Next up is Mile 13 Gaming, who does the Engineers Be Like videos, but does a bunch of other things besides. And he's made a really good video called Exobiology Even Easier with ED Copilot. ED Copilot is the add-on that I keep raving about for time trials, but it does so much more. And it's really nice to see. I've seen a few content creators now making videos about one feature or other of ED Copilot. So this one, is about its exobiology features, which are really neat. It talks to the Canon plugin, I think, to get information about where exobiology samples have been found and their value, right down to surface coordinates. So ED Copilot, when you drop into a system, will say things like Planet 2A has got 75 million credits worth of exobiology if you want to go and have a look. And if you fly down and to orbital cruise on that planet, it will even pop up a little overlay on your screen that points you to the place on the surface where you can find your first bit of bacteria or stuff. And then it will tell you when you've driven far enough to find the second bit. And it's really good. It's got some neat features, and this is a great video about it. Nug makes some nice videos, and they've put the Python Mark II to the test. It's quite cool, actually. They take the Python Mark II to not a combat zone, but there are these. I haven't actually been into one myself, but there are these things in Civil War systems, I think, where there are like pirate instances. I can't remember what it's called, but Pirate Threat 7, and apparently you get NPC ships in there that are seriously engineered. And so he took a Python Mark II and then basically aggroed three anacondas with it. 3 heavily engineered NPC anacondas, just to see how well it performed. And it's a bloody good ship as far as I can tell if you like your combat. It's really nice demonstration of its capabilities. Yeah, good combat ship.
Nice.
Last video is a really silly one, but it appeals to me. I like it when commanders do completely pointless stuff just because it's there. And Whiskey Popcorn basically built the heaviest ship it's possible to build in Elite Dangerous. I think it was a cutter, and then he filled it with the heaviest modules, and he did all the engineering that had the negative effects of making those modules even heavier. I forget the final weight, but he deliberately constructed the heaviest ship possible and then proceeded to land it on a 45G planet with no shields. And succeeded. It's really silly and completely pointless. But bravo, what a marvelous achievement. Well done.
A good feat of flying. I enjoyed watching him trying to bring it in, and the intercutting of all the other videos and audio into it is excellent.
Yeah, it's
So
intercut with a lot of airplane stuff, isn't it? Of
yeah,
trying to land an airplane. Yeah, it's quite funny. I am going to hand over to Psychic for the next one.
Oh, hello. Yeah. Words. I believe it's still going on. The Morpheus Mining Corporation. Once a year they have Fesh Fest, which sounds delightful. So once a year, there is a Wolf 1301 system. They switch for a week to Anarchy. And they make that, when it turns Anarchy, a rare commodity called Wolf Fesh becomes available. It's on at the moment. You can go and buy it. You can go and buy this rare. And we will normal service will be resumed. They're going to switch it. They're going to flip it back. Yeah, that's a thing that's currently happening. Fesh Fest 3310 is currently going on, and yeah, go and stock up if you're into hoarding rares, I guess.
Excellent. Excellent, good stuff. What do you do with them? Put them on your fleet carrier, or just...
I don't know, sell them.
Okay.
It's like,
Cool.
if you're into it, if you want a bit of fesh on your ship.
Love a bit of fish.
Mm.
Moorish. Right. Next up, I just wanted to say hi to Rayman Games. I think a bunch of them raided us earlier. Rayman Games is one of Frontier's Twitch partners, Frontier's partner program streamers, and they are currently having a push to get Twitch partner. I don't really know what Twitch partner is, but I know it meant an awful lot to you, Psychic, so I imagine it's a cool thing to get.
It's a neat thing. It's a neat thing. It used to mean a lot more. You used to get like a partner buddy and all of those kind of things.
Oh.
It's now, or you'd get like a partner manager and things like that.
Right.
Now it's effectively access to a Discord, notification of certain things that are happening maybe slightly before other people. Loads of people got made Twitch partner in 2020 when lockdown was going on and those kind of things.
Right. Gotcha. Do they promote your stuff more if you're
there are things that you can do to, it's easier for you to request things like front page and things along those lines, but normally that's charity things. You can get picked for doing front page things as well. It's one of those like cool achievements. You get the little purple tick, and when I got it, it meant a shit ton to me. So best of luck in your endeavors. It's cool.
So if you want to support Rayman Games, then it's Twitch TV/Rayman Games, and we'll have the link in the show notes. Go and give them a watch. I was watching today. It's good stuff.
Rayman's good people. Yeah. Go watch.
Right, Buckyball. Yes, so the Zombaland Buckyball race is over. This was a race that involved a really short hop from the start system to the system of Zomba, where you had to land on just one planet, but there was a whole selection of different places you had to land. There was a couple of normal planetary stations that you had to land at. There were 4 settlements, of which you had to land at 3 in the unlimited class and 2 in regulation. And each settlement you had to land, leap out of your ship, run to a terminal, interact with it, and then run back to your ship and off to the next stop. And then there was also a strange beacon thing with lots of radar dishes where you had to land about 3 kilometers away, because if you got closer it didn't like you and you'd get a fine. And then an optional bit was to jump in the SRV and drive to the beacon and then drive away again and recall your ship and on your way. And then there was also a little bonus that if you did the whole thing without shields or repairs and you could finish on 100%, then you got an extra minute. Before I read out the results, I know you had a go, Claire. What did you think?
I loved it. I loved it so much. Kudos to you for finding a really, really, really dope race. I hope we do it again. I genuinely hope that we do it again, because I'd love to be able to submit a time this time.
It was super fun. I think the fact that it was, I did kind of rather rush it together because I changed my mind what I wanted to do for the race. But I still wanted to use Super Cruise Overcharge, and what I really enjoyed. So in regulation class, there was no Super Cruise Overcharge, and I stand by that because I think it was an interesting race in its own right. But in Unlimited with the Super Cruise Overcharge, what was really fun, I really enjoyed, was like you take off from one of the planet ports, and then your next objective is another one that's maybe, I don't know, 25 degrees around the planet somewhere, 100,000, 1,000 kilometers away in whatever. So you take off, and then the minute you hit orbital cruise, you then need this nice little burst of overcharge to zip you around the planet without suddenly, launching off into space. And I loved trying to judge that, and then you'd sort of arc around and come back down again. And I just really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was genuinely excellent for something that was kind of last minute. I thought it was brilliant. You did such a good job of creating it.
It's good, yeah. And most of the runs were like in the order of 20 minutes or something, or 25 minutes. So yeah, it was easy to get loads of runs in. Right. I will just quickly zip round the results. In regulation class, we had 15 commanders taking part and 16 in unlimited. Let's do the top 5. What the hell? We'll do the top 5. So in regulation, in 5th place, we have Sulu. And then me. That's not why I said do the top 5.
Definitely why you said top 5.
Totally not.
Alex.
I've just realised that sounds really bad. It sounds like that's the only reason.
How indulgent of you!
Oh God, that's embarrassing. Fourth is me because I'm not allowed to be on the podium because it's my race, which is fine. 3rd is Kevin the Stabber. 3rd is Epiphus, and 1st is Osric. Yeah, and then over in unlimited, and I'm going to stick to doing the top 5 because I've started.
Definitely do that.
Right, so in 5th is Reiko. Oh, in 4th is me again.
Oh, really?
In 3rd is Epiphus, 2nd Imbrusky, and 1st, how many minutes ahead of everybody else? 3 minutes ahead of everyone else, which is ludicrous because everyone's within seconds of each other, is Shay, the incomparable Shay Blackwood. The only other thing I wanted to say, which was quite funny, is there was also this whole theme about Commander Burr being a goddamn flipping space zombie. And there was a questionnaire when you submitted your results, of which there was 2 answers you could vote for. Either A, I support Alex claims that Burr is a goddamn flipping space zombie, or you could vote B, I refute Alice Turnip's wild allegations Commander Burr is innocent. And I can now reveal that 87.8% of voters support my claims that Burr is in fact a goddamn flipping space zombie. So there you go, conclusive evidence.
Yeah, fully conclusive. Wild.
And there was also a stupid thing about which weapon would you like to kill him with, and there were some wonderful selections. You can go to the forum thread, but amongst all the usual zombie killing tools like cricket bats and chainsaws and shotguns, there's some really imaginative weapon suggestions.
I swear one of them at some point said something along the lines of having a pint and waiting for it all to blow over, which was my personal favourite.
I quite liked British rail sandwiches being used to take down zombies. That's my favourite.
Lots of cultural references. We had a lot of fun. It was a really fun race in many ways.
Amazing. Awesome. Thanks, Alec, for putting all of those together. Brilliant. Votes if you have a community event that's taking place soon and you would like for us to talk about it, get in touch, or Alec will find you. And that is a threat. That is supposed to be construed as a threat that it is.
I know where you live.
Yeah, tweet us at Lave Radio or email info@laveradio.com. That would be wonderful. Thank you so much. So moving on to the in-game events. What's happened this week in-game? We've had a couple. A couple of little fluff pieces. On the 29th of August, Jerome Archer and Nakato Kane increased supporters. My brain short-circuited then. Alliance Federal. Hey, do you think we've got a power play update coming soon? And this is why, hey, everyone needs to pay attention to power play. They're basically what this is. And then we also had on the 3rd of September, which is the day of recording, Sirius stock price fluctuates after unhinged trading patterns. Sirius is power play as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an odd one in a way, but all these stories feel a little bit like they're just reminding us that power play is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I feel like it is. They're mentioned. I know we had was Sirius mentioned in that Utopia CG as well?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they want.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, because and
take it over or something, didn't they? Because they said that the Utopia people couldn't look after their stuff, so they would help.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did such a bad job in the CG that Sirius is going to come in and buy your assets. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and now they've got unhinged trading patterns. So everything, like in my eyes, all of this is very much like, hey, let's point towards the power play and that kind of thing. Hey, remember power play exists, and we will. We don't have anything new in the store. If I've missed something, I don't think I have missed anything being announced being in the store, so there's no new store things. Hey, Frontier, give us some more fleet carrier interiors. How hard can it be?
I heard, I can't remember where I saw it now. I should have paid more attention. It was early today. Some speculation that there was some gold paint jobs, not golden, but the gold ones had popped back up. I might have imagined it. Anybody else heard such things?
I hadn't seen it anywhere. I haven't noticed.
Okay, unsubstantiated.
Unsubstantiated evidence. Yeah. Hopefully, I'd very much like to have some more. Because we haven't had any, have we? Since Fleet Carriers came out, we got our initial ones, and then we have no others. Right?
No.
Sounds about right.
No new layouts.
Oh, I see. On Fleet Carrier Cosmetics. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
I feel real sad. I feel sad about that. I'd like to have some. I'd like to have some more Fleet Carrier things, please. That would be great. Like even just like a chain. There's only 3 interiors. It's just color palettes. Come on, Frontier. I'm mad. Shall we have an advert break so I can calm down, and we'll come back with our main discussion, which will definitely be about the Mandalay. Spoiler alert. There's bargains at Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium haven't just been slicing carcasses, but also slicing their prices. All unspecified meat sausages now 2 for the price of 1. A pack of assorted meat steaks, now with 50% more meat at half the price. How about chops? Our surprising meat chops now also 50% off. And introducing our massive meat hamper. It's a family of 4. No, that should say feeds a family of 4, right?
Stick to the script, Claire. It says it's a family of 4.
Okay, I'll stick to the script.
Yeah, you do that.
It's a family of 4. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Find us in the Lave business directory or visit us next to the station mortuary. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. You'll wonder how our prices are so low.
Oi, how you doing, my brother? So you run some data and you left your little sidey and you're starting to think about maybe a ship that can punch a little bit harder. Well, the Killback, the one with the little flappy wings, is just what the doctor ordered. It is multi-crew enabled and is the smallest ship with a fighter bay, so you can point and they will do your bidding. Ha! It's got 3 utility mounts, 2 small and 2 medium hard points, plus a whole batch of compartments. So if you want a bit of fun, grab a Killback, my son.
Sweet dreams, little ones. You rest up in your hangar bay, because in the morning, you'll wake up to smell fresh laser fire, because you're in a Federal Corvette. And there's one thing that a core dynamic ship does well, and that's kill ships. Big ships, small ships, wings of ships. We even have a go at booping asteroids. Enemy shields down! Enemy dead! There's no further targets, Commander! That's all you'll ever have to say in a Federal Corvette. Core dynamics! Let's not talk about skimmers.
We all know what it's like. You're busy managing your settlement when suddenly the alarms go off.
Oh no, not again.
That's right. A commander with a Federation naval rank of Admiral, an Imperial King no less, has landed in a ship worth over 100 million credits and is killing all your staff, while they look around for a 10 credit adhesive to glue an upgraded scope to their 100,000 credit assault rifle. They fly away with their super glue and you're left with a problem. How are you going to get your agricultural plant back up and running?
How am I going to get my plant up and running?
How are you going to find staff at short notice?
How am I going to find staff at short notice?
How are you going to deal with all those bodies?
There's bodies everywhere, and they've stained the carpet.
Wonder no longer. Call Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services.
Hello, I'm Harry, from Harry's Mine. After a sudden increase in robberies and murders by commanders since 3307, I've gained valuable expertise in cleaning up bodies, recruiting new staff and restocking stationary lockers. Now you can benefit from my experience by signing up to our Crime Scene Cleanup Service subscription plan.
That's right. For only a small monthly fee, when your settlement alarms are activated, our rapid response cleanup crew will be dispatched, along with our patented Cadaver Scoop 150. The Cadaver Scoop 150 can be mounted to surface reconnaissance vehicles and skimmers to make tidying up your settlement a breeze.
Wow, the bodies are gone.
Our recruitment team has potential new employees on standby across the galaxy, ready to fill your vacant roles in security, logistics, administration, processing, and more.
My plant's operational again. Thanks, Aries Crime Scenes Cleanup Services.
Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services. We'll have your settlement as good as new before the next ship arrives. Cadaver Scoop 150 disposal bags sold separately.
Lave Radio, transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
And we're back. Cracking selection of ads there. Really, really fun. Folks, I'd love to talk some more about the Mandalay. I'd love to chat to you guys a little bit more about it. Frontier revealed it on Wednesday just gone. And it looks dope, doesn't it?
It does look beautiful. It's interesting because it didn't. I don't know. I would have guessed that it was an exploration ship. Although now I think about it, I don't know why not, because it's. I think from popular science fiction stuff, we're sort of sold an image of exploration ships looking quite dull and functional, and I suppose having a big bubble canopy or something on the front, and things with wings. And as particularly swept wings are predators. They're like birds of prey. They're clearly fighty ships. But I love it because it's gonna one of the things of exploration is undoubtedly taking screenshots of yourself next to beautiful sights, and it's gonna look fantastic in screenshots.
I think that's what they said, wasn't it? In some of the stuff they sent out, they looked at it from various angles and thought, "Will this look good on a planet somewhere?"
Yeah. I think it's an important consideration. Yeah.
I just love the design. It is a funny one though, because it's got that sort of fatter lower side of it, and then it looks like a fighter jet on the top, which seems like a weird design for an exploration ship. But I don't know, it works for me. It pushes all my buttons.
I wonder how. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I wonder how well that canopy will work. I need to go back to my member and remind myself what it's like, because I remember the first time I got the Asp Explorer, the fact that you could sort of look down as well, because you've got the bubble canopy, so you could sort of look down between your knees and see, like a planet or a star underneath you. And whereas this is great for looking up, but presumably you can't look down at all, which I don't know, seems like they can't do anything about it, because of the variant cockpit thing.
Yeah, left and right looks slightly obscured though, because it's got those raised sections as well. So
Mm.
it's got great visibility above, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
I have a couple of I think personally it will be predominantly you. I'm obviously I'm going to get one, but I think personally it will be much more predominantly used as like a new bubble taxi or like a BGS bus or something like that. That kind of thing. I like seeing these new medium ships come out that keep rendering the Python no longer needed in the galaxy, because I played it for so long. We don't
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I just remembered something else I did is during a quiet moment during the Buckyball race, this is really stupid, but I thought, I'll buy myself a Python. I haven't done it yet, Python Mark II. So I bought the Python Mark II at the start line of the race, and then realized it didn't have outfitting. So then ended up flying back to Jameson in a different ship, and then getting my Python Mark II shipped there. So completely ludicrous sequence of events. Anyway, I now have a half decent Python Mark II. Just started to put it together, and I feel like I ran out of optional modules really, really fast. My Python, my good old trusty Python, feels like a real all-rounder. But with this thing, I suppose it's meant to be a combat ship, and I'm not doing it right. But I put on a Guardian frameshift driver and a fuel scoop and some shields, and I was out of modules pretty much to do anything interesting with it. Anyway, sorry, as an aside, but I'm not convinced that the Python Mark II in any way outdoes the old Python.
No, I think
There's a
it. I don't think it certainly doesn't do what the Python did for the Python and Python Mark II and Python Mark 1, I guess now. They don't serve the same purpose. I think the Type 8 serves more of a similar purpose to what the Python 1 used to do. And I spent, like I've said this before, like I've spent so many hours in a Python. It's just nice to be given other mediumship options that are more more appealing to me. The Mamba, the cockpit on the Mamba, are you sat central to that, or are you sat off to the side? Because that will be a deal breaker for me.
I want to say central. How could you not be? I'm looking at the picture now of the Mandalay, and I'm thinking, how could you not be in the center of that?
I think it is
But
central.
then remember what the size of the cockpit glass actually is in Elite Dangerous, and that you're sitting in a massive conservatory most of the time.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So there's normally plenty of room, because in the concept art pictures you can see the size of the commander sitting down at the very, very bottom on the ground. So there's plenty of room for you to be off center potentially, but I think it would be in the middle. It just makes sense, doesn't it, for those kind of ones? And then maybe, I don't know how much passenger space, or if it's like one in front and one behind on the Mamba.
That are confirming as well that you are sat central, so that's good. Can you multi-crew in a Mamba? Is my next question.
Oh, in my head I said multi-crew Mamba, but maybe you can't.
Again, don't know.
Not a clue.
I'm gonna say no, and then let chat tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm more than happy for chat to let us know either way whether you can, because I think some of the appeal that I found in other people exploring is me being able to sort of remote into their cockpit so I can go and look. Chat was saying it's a 2-seater, so behind and above the pilot as well. So that's still a good thing. That's a bonus. That's a plus. I think we've talked about visibility potentially being low.
Yeah, I mean, up and above you, and to be fair, when you're flying around a system in Super Cruise and you're exploring and you're looking, I don't know, you're sort of, I spend a lot of time looking up, so fine with that.
Yeah.
It's probably not as good for Exo Buyer though if you're looking
Yeah.
for unless you're
Yeah,
you're
and it's
flying
funny
inverted.
they made such a point of that, of saying it's got spotlights that point to the ground in front of you, and that when you deploy on foot, you're exactly where you were looking. It's like, but looking at the pictures, I'm thinking, but I don't think you could see the ground from that cockpit.
I mean, if you fly nose down and use, I've done that before and use your vertical thrusters.
Maybe you can. Maybe I'm being
That's what Epaphras was saying in chat, was that he just flies upside down, and then that way you can see it.
Very flash. They made on the live stream quite a lot of fuss about it about it handling extremely well in atmospheres. What does that mean? Just
Lots
what
of
does that mean?
people going in and ahhing about, are we going to get thicker atmosphere? Well,
I mean, it doesn't. Maybe I'm wrong. I wonder if Shay Blackwood's in chat, because he will immediately tell me if I'm wrong. I'm sure there's others will too. But I always kind of felt like the maneuverability of spaceships, ignoring gravity, was identical in space, or I'm going to do massive air quotes now, in an atmosphere.
it's got flaps on
Aside
it.
from gravity.
It's got ailerons at the back.
But there's no spaceships in Elite don't respond. There's no air. Do you know what I mean? There's no.
Yeah.
They don't respond to atmosphere. So I feel like that was a bit of bullshit, frankly.
It's also got intakes, as I said before. It's got like
I
air
know.
intakes. Oh.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it from a lore perspective. Just to say that it's built, but in practice, I don't.
So do we not feel more maneuverable in certain ships in tenuous on any planets than?
I don't think there's a difference. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I would like to show you my Type 9 trying to land at a station.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I feel like there is a difference. I do feel,
Maybe
depending on the ship, that there is a difference, and that's sometimes echoed in like shit. What happened then? Super Cruise turning is different in certain ships as well. Some ships are a lot more maneuverable in Super Cruise than they aren't, and I feel like that is also replicated on some ships on some of these tenuous atmosphere planets. I might be incorrect.
A couple of people in chat have pointed out that there's a kind of rocking or wobbling, and I know what they mean. I guess my question would be, is that any different on a thin atmosphere planet to an old Horizons planet with no atmosphere? Because I know if you try and point the nose at the ground, even on an old Odyssey planet, then it kind of rocks a bit, and particularly if you're in camera view and you're trying to get a nice stable shot, I often think, oh, I need to level my ship out because otherwise it's doing all this wobbling about. But I don't think that the ships behave any different in thin atmospheres. So I rather feel like Arthur saying this ship will fly really well in atmospheres is a bit of bullshit, actually.
Chris?
So I don't know if this is quiet or not, but I had some thoughts about it not being visible when you look down. What if when you get on a planet, at the bottom some shutters open, it's like a glass bottom boat?
I like that.
That'd be dope.
Not a chance, but I love your wishful thinking.
They have added all the moving parts to the ship. It's got little foldy wings. It's got vertical takeoff landing thrusters. It's got downlighters, and now the cockpit has like a little glass floor that opens up.
Yep.
Or it rotates into a configuration like Boba Fett's ship, so you're sort of flying 90 degrees to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the Mandalay, the most extra ship that have ever existed in Elite Dangerous.
Everyone in the instance around you loses frames as you come into land.
Yeah. As it reconfigures itself.
If you try and land two of them at once, the entire server melts. It's gone.
Wild. What a time. Very, very quickly. folks. We've had 3 ships now. We're supposed to be having 4 before the end of the year. Now, if this is going to be this year or the financial year, or they're just announcing it before the end of the year, I'm not entirely sure what that means, because the year is rapidly running out. What have we had so far? We've had a combat ship, we've had a trucking ship, and we've got an explorer now. What's next?
Passenger ship.
Yeah, it's not very exciting. Then,
Yes, it is. I will not take passenger mission erasure on this. I want a passenger
The
ship.
Venga bus is coming.
As well, let's face it, because no ship they ever say is for one purpose ever gets used for that one purpose by the community. Oh, mining ship somebody's put in chat.
I mean, hang on, let me just check my notes. Shay, Blackwood 1, Zomberland in... Oh, it's Cobra Mark 4.
Cobra Mark 4, yeah.
Husky came second in a Dolphin, so there you go. Good racing ship.
Good racing ship. Good racing
Type
ship.
8 works as a mining ship as well.
Mm.
So I'm not sure what would
The
make...
Type 8's a bloody good mining ship.
My favourite new all-rounder.
Yeah, I don't know what you would do to make a mining-only ship, because it would need to have decent cargo capacity. Type 8 has that.
Non-optional refinery.
Yeah.
That would be it. A mandatory refinery, that would be all that would make it a mining ship. Because you'd have to make decisions about where you'd have your hard points and those kind of things. And I feel like the Type 8 is really designed for along those lines, because now I know that you can get size 1 abrasion blasters, and it's got that 1 size 2 slot specifically for the seismic launches. So and it's maneuverable. So it's in my humblest of opinions, I feel like that's a really good ship. But do you think do we think it's a passenger ship that we're looking at? Do we think... I don't know what else it could possibly be if not a passenger.
Sidewinder Mark II.
Sidewinder Mark II. Take it back to basics.
It could be a small fighter. I mean, at the moment we've had medium ships. They could just put together like a really nice, small, agile fighter class ship, possibly.
Possibly.
Something more in the entry market, so your natural upgrade from a Sidewinder would be to this variation of ... You know, instead of a leap into a Python Mark II or a Type 8 or this could be like your next natural hop, so a smaller one. But
yeah,
it seems that they're wanting to take advantage of the new drive. I think the obvious one's a transport, your new Venga bus.
Yeah,
but
there is
there is the possibility of a smaller.
Yeah, there's no medium Venga bus. That's true. So that's probably. I don't know even if I would bet money on it though, because the Mandalay for me came out of absolutely nowhere. I wasn't expecting it to look the way that it did after we saw the arse of it at ECM. I did not expect it to look the way that it does. I'm super glad that it does look the way that it does, because it's so unusual and different in comparison to a lot of the other things that we have. Wild. So, let's move on to our question of the week, which was another I asked people about the Mandalay and what do you think of it? Will you be getting one? And if so, what will you use it for? Elvis Kremen responded saying, sexiest ship in the game by miles. Will be the first early access ship I get. I usually use my Dolphin for BGS and running around, but this one will be replacing it without a doubt.
Oh,
I don't know why I gave him a voice.
Someone threw cold water over Elvis.
And then we had your Katie. I really like this one. I might buy an Anaconda just so I could put it in the bin to replace it with this. In all seriousness, I might use it for buggering off and exploring far realms, or I might use it as a bubble taxi. Either way, it's pretty and I want it.
Amazing.
It's so pretty.
It
so
is.
pretty.
It's gorgeous.
Commander Profane Pagan, I think we'll learn about her properties next month, so right now it's hard to tell what kind of purpose this ship will serve in my fleet in the bubble. But one thing is for sure, I will buy it because she is beautiful. But the community managers emphasize her aerodynamic shape and flight capabilities in atmospheric conditions. Were they thinking on the good old tenuous atmosphere or...
Or...
Were they tenuous flight
Did you just get out a slide
capabilities?
whistle?
That's the noise that the ship makes as its wings fall down. It's
Absolutely.
Nice. Valerie C says pros and cons. Some people have drawn big similarities between the Mandalay and ships from other games, and that's a con for me, as is the perched landing profile. Pros are that it absolutely does look cool in Elite anyway, and I'll buy one with credits regardless. Huzzah!
Brilliant. Misery Cord. Misery Cord says, I am taking it straight to Jax, slapping the hall side and going, you won't believe the jump range on this one, Frenchie.
I wonder what its jump range is going to be. It's
comparable to the Anaconda.
Yeah.
It's a pretty long one. Commander Mad Dog said, I will definitely be getting one. Take my money. I shall wait and see with regards its specifications and capabilities, but more likely than not, it will be an Explorer or long-range bubble taxi.
We have had Silas Resi. Not for me, but I just bought another Cobra Mark IV, so I'm good, ta.
O'Shea Blackwood, that he won the buckyball in a Cobra Mark IV.
I would imagine it looks pretty much like a Mamba, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Yeah, I must admit, I was saying I just bought my Python Mark II, and yeah, it is kind of identical, isn't it? And I am I imagining it, or has the kind of wooden dashboard been replaced with a more plasticky looking one? I know that's just a color palette thing, really, but probably imagined it. It's pretty much identical. Anyway, sorry. Commander Bo Lof Petunias says, as a commander who likes to take ships not designed for exploration and make exploration builds from them, I'm not sure what to do with this one. VIP PAX missions? I'm intrigued on the jump range potential, but not overly concerned by the restricted ground view from that cockpit.
Oh, VIP passenger missions. Oh, that's a good shout.
Depends on how depends on what its internals are, really. I feel like we're gonna have another discussion about it when we get the internals.
Yeah. Still don't know if it's got a fighter bay. I can't quite see it.
It'll be nice to have a fighter bay. I'd like it to. I think we do. I feel like people gravitate towards the exploration ships which have fighter bay capabilities, but I can't think of.
I'm glad you said that, because I wasn't sure if they do or not. So when I
do.
Yeah, I do too. When I did my journey to Colonia, which I took a long time and did lots of exploration on the way, I loved having the ship launch fighter. Because you can kind of make little stories out of it, and you can do so much more with screenshots and I don't know, go and deploy it and go and look around planets and stuff. It's really fun to have another vehicle when you're out there, I think.
I've taken a Corvette exploring, and obviously, and that has that had a double fighter bay in there, and I put 2 different Guardian fighters
Nice.
in there, and I've got some really cool screenshots of like Guardian fighters up against black holes and things like that, just like where you wouldn't necessarily expect to see them. I thought it looked cool, and I thought it would make for good pictures, so I chucked that GIF out there.
If you're a lone commander in a ship that's got 2 fighters,
Mm-hmm.
can you deploy one and then jump back to the ship and then deploy the other for a screenshot? I'm thinking, and then go and get them again.
I have absolutely no idea.
Okay.
Why did I not try that? I've got no idea at all.
Because who would be flying the second? Would the alien
you're
fly the
right.
second?
Probably
you
not.
Would need you would need 2 guest pilots with you.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got loads of science to do on Thursday.
Question for chat.
Could you deploy someone on telepresence?
People are saying that you can do it for sure.
Yeah,
so I think
I guess it's like
I still might try and science it on Thursday.
I guess it works like SRVs. You can definitely deploy an SRV and then get out and run back to your ship and deploy an
or another SRV. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like the idea of doing. It's definitely a list of things that Claire is doing for science that's happening at the moment. Charlie Romeo Lima. I've been out in the black for 3 years, and when I return to the bubble, I will have 60 billion plus credits. Wow. These new ships will give me something to spend my money on. I noticed the canopy is almost identical to the Mambas, and now I'm wondering if the cockpit will be the same layout. Probably, Charlie Romeo Lima. Probably it will. I'm assuming by the time I'm back in late 2024, early 2025, that these ships will be available in-game for credit purchase at stations. I've been using the Mamba as an explorer when it's meant for combat as a heavy fighter, so I'll probably try using the Mandalay as a combat ship, since it's ostensibly intended for exploration. And that's the thing that we all do it. We all go walk. I take a Corvette exploring. Everyone goes, hey, we've got ships, but we're not going to do them for their intended purposes. That would be nonsense.
Absolutely. Commander Sir Juice said, I'm seriously considering this one. My issue is exchange rates. For all 3 ships, I'd have to spend $60, way above the base cost of the game. The ARX for a single ship is $38. Wow. Again, more than the cost of the game. I'm a big fan of the game and its support and support its continued success. I just find the cost of the microtransactions to be less than micro. As for the ship itself, it looks a great addition to the lineup. If it can match the Anaconda for range and has enough room for 2 SRVs, a fighter, and all electronic suites, it's hit the sweet spot.
I mean, that's the dream. I'm confused about the math from the 60 and the 38. I'd love a little bit of clarification on that one, Sergis, if you wouldn't mind at some point, because I'm not.
I see what you mean. 3 ships is 60, but 1 is 38.
I mean, are you paying, like, are you having to buy extra ARX so that you can afford one of the ships? Like the big ARX package to allow you to be able to afford one. I'm just confused as to how the math works out. So I'd love some clarification on that. But
also, to avoid further confusion, I'm sure they aren't confused about this, but just to be entirely clear, in case anyone was wondering, you can just wait. You only have to pay for early access. These ships do become available for in-game credits, as I've just bought the Python Mark II. So you
can get the Python and you can get the Type 8. Both of those are available now for in-game credits. Is that right or not? Am I wrong? I'm wrong. Just the Python is available for credits.
Python just now.
Yeah, Type 8 will be in October, I'm assuming, when the October update drops. So you don't have long to wait.
So I've just done a quick check, and to get the normal Type 8, you need to spend 13 quid on ARX. I don't think our exchange rate's that good with the US dollars, unless it's.
We don't know if that's US dollars, unless it could be Australian dollars, because that's a bigger exchange rate. That's why I want to know how the maths in that particular instance. I'm confused.
How math numbers.
Numbers.
Captain L. Harden. It looks great, but it doesn't feel like an exploring ship. And the cockpit view worries me. Bad view from the sides and no bottom view. Plus, with its bulky belly, it'll be probably hard to fly really low. Maybe it hides a shuttle to send the SRV to the ground from space.
Maybe it hides a shuttle. Can you imagine?
Back
Back
to Thunderbird.
That's
Back
the
to
proper
Thunderbird
Thunderbird
2.
Hell yes, I'm on board.
So I've got one from Commander Halo 85. I will actually be using some arcs on this one.
I might too. Actually, I've still got to get arcs to buy my Type 8. Jeannie Van Zale says, it's a damn good looking ship and I'll definitely be getting one. It's a shame I'll probably only end up using it as a bubble taxi.
Jeannie. We do need to. I also just need to clarify on the back of what you said about you don't have to pay for arcs for the ships. In Odyssey, you don't have to pay arcs for the ships. In, I believe, even the live version of Horizons, they're not available in the shipyard. Even the Python isn't, and you have to still buy it for arcs. I believe that's the case. However, I mean, if you're having like this toss up, an existential crisis about whether or not to buy a Python Mark II or buy Odyssey, buy Odyssey.
Yeah.
I promise you it is more worth it in the long run. MV Cohorn says, it's a roaring beauty and I'll be getting it the moment it's available. I don't think the pre-built kit will be necessary for long-time players at least.
Isn't there a sale on again at the moment as well?
Probably.
Yeah, I thought there was. We've got Commander Finn here saying, I'll be buying it the second it launches. Love the look of it. I'll be using it for its purpose to finally do some long-range exploring. I think they'll allow us to engineer it to finally break 80 light years for a midship in one jump. Just need some nice paint jobs now.
While you're there, Frontier, can you do some Fleet Carrier paint jobs as well, please? Cheers.
Yeah, just while you're at it.
How hard can it be?
Oh my God. Everyone's going to get so drunk after this podcast. Speaking of which, hanging out in the bar with me, we've got Epsilon Orbital, who has said, I have just got into engineering, boosted jump range on my Phantom and DBX, and I'm already quite excited to get my hands on it. Although I think it looks a little odd compared to the other ships in the game. I know I'll grow to like it.
Odd. It does look different.
It's like the top-down view, pretty, right? And then it's that little pot belly that it's got hanging underneath, where you're like, that looks a bit odd. But like from the top and from the side, you're like, oh, pretty. It's like, oh.
That's why all of the pictures are taken out in a really flattering angle.
Yeah, that sort of selfie, arm out, camera up high, hide everything else. Breathe in.
Breathe in, tongue to the roof of your mouth. Hide that double chin.
Okay, I've got one from Mixoplix73. Shut up and take my money. In all truth, I love this game and played for so long. I'm happy to fork out some dollars for early access to these ships. The Type 8 plays so well, and if the Mandalay is balanced and jumps as far as suggested, it will be my new Grand Tourer. Oh, and it'll be really cool if wings fold up to fit in a medium pad, though not if they fold up and you plummet to your death like a brick.
Funny. Nicey, whose blog we mentioned earlier, says it looks like a bird of prey as rotating engines and SCO sold. We'll probably use it as a bubble bus.
Yeah.
A lot of shout outs to the bubble taxi.
More like Frontier's like, hey, look at this amazing ship that we can take exploration. Everyone else is like, yeah, great, but you're doing power play and it's a new thing that's going to be in the game. Why are we going out? Can we want to stay in?
Hedge
in and at least have a poke of the power play until we decide whether we like it or not. Lambda says the appearance of the Mandalay is really marred by its blocky, low-hanging belly. We've established, Lambda, it is sensitive about it. It'll be popular for exploration, I'm sure, but expect Mandalays in front of things, but only from flattering angles. If it has internals and options to match or surpass the Krayt Phantom, I might use it for exploration.
I think Galnet News Digest penned it best when they said it's going to be Mandalay in the way.
Mandalay in the
way,
amazing.
That's all I've got in my head now.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, DJ Wiley said, looks nice, and yep, definitely going to snap one up. Got to keep my ship collection up to date, because, yeah, more stuff for all the ship collectors. Excellent.
Hey, it's even worse. It's even worse. I have to sell a ship to get the Mandalay because I currently have 69 and I've completed elite, so I can't buy any more ships. So I now have to decide which of my nostalgic buckyball ships I have to sell, which I have kept in pristine condition. It might be the one from the Lava run. What was that? Just sell a vet. Kremen just said in chat, just sell a vet. Friendship with Kremen over.
I mean, does a vet not take up the space of three of your smaller ships? Like on the shelf, you've got like a vet.
They don't measure it like that, Chris. It's just everything's just a number, and the vet's also sensitive about its size. Don't be mean to it. Although she is svelte and lovely, rather than the Mandalay. Poor Mandalay. Don't pick on the Mandalay.
I mean, the vet's just tall, so can hide it better. Commander Schnails, I love my Type 8, but the use I saw for it before I had it didn't really work out. I love my Mamba, but I never found a use for it. I'm hoping the Mandalay becomes a replacement to my Phantom, but I'm holding off judgment until I've flown, landed, and driven an SRV out of it. Fingers crossed, it looks great. Yeah, will the SRV be able to deploy out of the chonky belly?
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no fix yet, is there, for not being able to drive an SRV out from a Type 8?
Well, when they fixed it on the DBX, they just increased the suspension a little bit.
Little telescopic angles.
Yeah, because the DBX always used to have that problem. Is like if you landed like anywhere near a rock, you were humped. You couldn't get in or out. So they increased the suspension on it a little bit. So it doesn't sit as low to the ground now. They just, I don't know. They took a sandbag out of it, so now it sits slightly higher.
So they'll do that with the Type 8 then. It'll just be give it a little bit of a
just increase the landing gear length
a little bit.
Yeah, breathe in.
Okay, I've got one from Cheb's Will. I probably will get one. It could be a good private taxi for the bubble. Could it replace the Adder as the best explorer from a carrier? I don't know. I'll give it a try, though.
Somewhere, Colin just collapsed. Is this thing on? It's gone very quiet.
Yeah. We can hear you.
I can confirm he is standing at the bar, but he has gone silent.
Excellent. Good. Happy Moon Monkey says, looks amazing. Yes, I'll get one. Probably shelling out for the premium pre-build to get the ship kit as well. No idea what I'll use it for yet, though. A little bit like the Type 8. I've got it, but existing ships fill all the roles. I need them for right now. I probably have a few roles for the Type 8 and Mandalay, but they're not the things I might be doing in-game at the moment. Power play might provide new opportunities.
Shame that they're giving us an Explorer at the same time as putting in power play. That's really funny, actually. I hadn't thought about that before tonight. It's like, hey, we're putting this really cool thing directly in the bubble that we're really excited and we want you all to try. But also, we're putting this ship in the game that we want you to bugger off out of the bubble and explore it.
Yeah, if you don't like power play and it's not your thing, you can just get out, and you can get out really fast in our new ship, okay?
But we want you to experience what. Okay. Last but not least, Steak Typhoon says, finally, a namesake not for its ability to bite, but for its writhing, coiling skill for getting away. Frontier really hyped up the speed, so I don't expect much firepower, but it should at least be capable of core mining. I'll be excited to see how she fares in buckyball races. She might just take them all. Shay's probably already queuing it up for the next buckyball ship.
I'm slightly sad. Actually, I didn't even check. I don't think that nobody flew a Python Mark II. No, probably not really well suited to my race in the end, but there you go.
Had I done even attempted an unlimited, I probably would have attempted it in the Python Mark II. But then also, you would never have known because I didn't submit anything.
That is also true.
My apologies. I will attempt it. I was going to say I'll do better next time, but I won't because it's my own race. So I'll probably won't even bother doing that. But I might give it a go. Shay's saying it turns really slow, so I don't.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. We don't have any mostly clueless this week, but we do have an actual question that came in via email, which I'm going to posit to you, or from Harry Lime, who says, "Quick question for the team: with the Thargoid War coming I'll start that again. With the Thargoid War coming to an end, is buying the pre-built anti-Xeno ship worth it? Also, what do you think of the continued Thargoid existence will look like after the destruction of the Titans?" I'm going to go to quiz 4 for this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
am. Is the anti-Xeno ship worth it? If you are coming in new to the game and you're wanting to get very quickly into Thargoid combat, then I would say yes, because it has all the gubbins and all the engineering for you to get in really, really quickly without having to gather materials and stuff. However, if you're in the game already and you want to get into Thargoid combat, you can now buy the Python Mark II. You can buy the majority of the components and stuff that you need for Thargoid combat, and engineering materials have become very easy to get. So I would say if you're already into the game somewhat, probably not worth it. If you're relatively new to the game and want to expedite the process, then yes. What do I think the continued Thargoid existence will look like after the destruction of the Titans? And we'll return to my usual comment, which is the final Titan is going to keep hiding every time you try and blow it up, so no one gets that final sticker, because I'm evil that way.
Kate, what do you think?
I don't think anti-Xenos is going anywhere. It's still going to be there. I don't think the Thargoids are going away in a big way.
Mhm.
I think they will get rid of that last Titan, but I think Titans are going to show up again, even if it's just one here, one there. I would love one to just show up in Colonia, to be honest. That would throw things in a strange basket. But yeah, it's definitely still worth going after stuff like that. I think it's still a great way to get into it for players who don't want to do the grind, even though the grind is now easier, I suppose, for mats, etc.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going anywhere. There's probably been too much time, resources spent on that whole on those Titans and everything that's come with them for them to go and then bin it. I think we've got more Titans coming at some point, but I don't think we're going to get a full-blown war. I think we're going to get incursions every once in a while.
What do you think, Alec?
I can't really beat Chris's fantastic answer about the pre-build. I think maybe all 8 Titans will go for a bit. I think there's a chance that they will come back in like 6 months' time or something. But kind of regardless of that, there's still Thargoid signal sources and things around the Pleiades, I believe, as far as I know. So you can still get your Thargoid interceptor combat on, and that's I've not done it, but it's actually a really nice boss fight. There's some great ship and weapon skills to learn, so I know that's a really fun thing to do, regardless of whether the Titans are around or not. I think what I am going to miss most, in a way, is the Spire sites. I mean, they're great locations, and they will remain to go and visit. But I'm a bit sad that there won't be active spire sites, so I hope those come back to life at some point as well. I'm a bit bored of the Titans, but I still like going to spire sites.
What about you, Chris?
So I think the Chris Collective has accurately answered the pre-built question. I think when the Titans are done with, I think we will go back to what we had Thargoid wise where it was before, where it was just occasional non-human signal sources. I think then maybe they may introduce a potential mechanic where if the Thargoids aren't kept under control, they start to expand out again, and then when enough systems are controlled by them, one could even say reinforced or what's the word? The fancy systems from Power Play. When they go like their equivalent of that, a Titan comes in. I think we might see that.
Okay. I'm in full shock about how good Chris Ford's answer to the first part of the question was, so I'm not going to expand on that at all. However, what I would say is, as far as continued Thargoid existence, I think the spire sites will turn into relics of a time once past that people will be able to visit and go, this is a thing that happened. This was a thing that happened over the course of 2 years in this video game that we all love, but things move on. And I think there was a conversation that we had with Darren. I think it was the end of last ECM, not the one just gone, but the one before. And he was talking about the fact that when the Titans came in, he had to get up at stupid o'clock certain days to have to manually adjust the direction that they were heading so that they could be in the right place at the right time, and that kind of thing. Make sure that they were going in the right direction, so that they would arrive and create the mystery and have all of that interaction. I can't envisage a situation, especially if I'm right about the other stuff. I can't envisage a situation wherein someone's going to be getting up and maneuvering stuff, Chris.
During Thargoid.
Yeah, I definitely don't think they're going to do the Thargoid sort of zooping into the systems again. I think we might end up... It seems a shame for all that mechanic and all that asset to be lost once the Titans are gone. That's why I don't know if they'll keep a Titan somewhere that is not quite destroyable, or when it gets destroyed, it just kind of bloops out and then bloops back in again. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So you never quite get as far as blowing it up. It just sort of zips away for a bit, and then it'll come back into its caustic cloud at a later date. I don't know, so that they can keep that mechanic running, because I mean they must have worked so long on that. But I guess that's the whole point of this content, isn't it? They've got quite a bit out of it, so maybe they can put it on the shelf, but. You sort of feel for them when they've built something like that. They've got it all working, and then it's just gone from the game. That's it. It's done.
But then also
I've had a new idea. So in the Sol system, they deploy a Thargoid War 3308-3310 museum, and when you visit the museum and dock at it, you have the opportunity to enter a Thargoid Titan simulation to see what it was like back in the day. And when you go in there, there's a Titan, and you can do Titan stuff.
Add it into CQC, so you can do CQC around a Titan.
I just feel there's a certain bravery and a nostalgia to be able to go, hey, look at this really cool thing that we did. Look how wild the player base went for it. Look how receptive a lot of the player base was. Look at the engagement that occurred. Look at all of these clips that we can keep going back to and showing off. That was such a good time. Look what we achieved, and look nostalgically at it rather than it being it having to be something that keeps coming back and keeps coming back. There is a certain bravery to that, and I would like big respect Frontier if they made that decision to do it that way. I don't know though. That they might not, but
they might. You're right. They might.
I'm kind of excited about the potential for that being a case.
Yeah.
Unless anyone else has got anything that they wish to add, my lovelies.
I did. What if it unlocks Call 70? And that's just like rampant with Thargoids, and maybe there's
They're
Titan
fucking
there.
everywhere.
No, but I mean,
we have
once
to
if
kill
that
all of the Titans that are everywhere.
Almost if that becomes like a Thargoid, like playground, and lack of a better word. Plus, we still don't know what's going on. The the planet where Savlon City's Proteus wave off.
Yeah, that does need resolving.
That did some weird stuff. There's still that. I mean, maybe Call 70 will become some sort of eternal Thargoid battleground that we can use.
I mean, there's still Thargoids in the Pleiades as well, isn't there? So I don't think they haven't changed since we've had the Thargoid War. That you can still go out to like Asterope and places like that and go and see the nice docile Thargoids who just hyperdict you and scan you rather than are out for blood. Interesting. I don't know. We'll have to see. I think we're on the precipice of a kind of interesting time when the Thargoid War finishes. I'm excited about it.
Christmas.
Definitely not October. Christmas. Okay, so in any other business, I have a little tiny bit of charity self-promotion to do. On this Friday, if you're listening to this on the week of release, this Friday from like 6:45 UK time, I am taking part in an Among Us games night in aid of British Red Cross. There's like, I think between 10 and 12 different creators taking part. I haven't played Among Us for 4 years, I think. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to bringing my special Chaos Gremlin nature and being kind of sus, though. So that's happening on this Friday. There are links in the show notes to the Tiltify pages for the full thing, which lists all of the creators involved, and my individual fundraiser for it as well are both linked in the show notes. I believe our tech Ventura added this to any other business because it's a World of Warcraft thing. There is a free World of Warlock Parlock pet if you stream for 15 minutes on Discord and activate the promotion in the gift inventory. If you're into that kind of thing. Does anybody else have any other business?
Nope.
Cool. Chris is live on Black Diamond FM on a Sunday. I must mention that in any other business because it's really cool. You should listen to it. Sunday from 12 o'clock UK time. So we'll move on to our shout-outs. Our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, broadcasts on Thursdays from 8:30 p.m. You can tune in at twitch.tv/Hutton Orbital Truckers or for just the audio at radioforthemug.com. For the discerning commander who likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. We're also giving shout outs to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts, which have appeared. They exist. There is the Guard Frequency, who do other space games, and Loose Screws. Also, if you're not like me and let the funky music do the talking and do speak French, you can listen to the Elite Dangerous podcast, who talk about Elite. And they're cool. They're good folks. I like them muchly. Following on from this, we do have the latest Galnet News Digest as provided by Commander Wotherspoon and Commander Beetle Jude. Thank you to those who have chipped in on Twitch chat and our in-game commanders. Who have we seen today, Chris?
Well, they've all lined up nicely for me. We have got Electro Ace, we have got Epsilon Orbital, we have got Hugh J. Appendage Esquire, we have Soka 42, Ginny Van Zrael, Epaphus, Dead Star Omega, Siberius, and the legend himself, Phoenix Defier.
Incredible. On Thursday, during our 500.5 show, we had our in-game commanders Nicey, Ziol, Bolivar Claudio, Jan Gamo, Actual Genuine Hugh J. Appendage Esquire, Alessa Moonstar, Dark Karas, and Commando Electro Ace. If you haven't listened to our 500.5 show featuring the old crew, so Cal and Alan and Fozza and Thane and who have I missed?
Alan.
No, I said Alan.
Oh, you said Alan.
Second Cal.
I said Cal. Cal was the first one I said.
Fozza.
All of the old crowd. It was great. It was really, really good. Highly recommend you go and check that out if you haven't already. I am so sorry. It's all right. They'll never listen to this. So special thanks to Commander Takoso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who created the music used on the show. And that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you would like to get in touch with the show, then you can find contact links in the home/contact us menu of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 p.m. UK time and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. Thank you to Alec.
Thanks, Claire. Night all.
Thank you to the Chris Mark IV.
You're welcome.
Thank you to KayteeKhaos.
My absolute pleasure.
And special thanks to today's tech specialist. I'm rather fond of him, so much so that I married him, the Chris Mark V.
You're welcome.
Until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted. Need a safe word. Space can be loaded. I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Galnet News Update, 3rd of September, 3310.
Zorgon Peterson insists there will be no problem fitting the new Mandalay exploration ship on a medium pad. The ship manufacturer was responding to concerns that the ship's wingspan might be too wide for the deck elevator, leading to the potential for the control surfaces to become damaged. Acknowledging that the signature curved wing design has a total width that might be challenging for ground crews, Zorgon shared pictures of the new ship successfully stored in a medium hangar. It takes a little manoeuvring to get the ship to fit just right, said the Zorgon Peterson spokesperson, and you may not be able to disembark safely, but it fits, and that's without having to take the wings off. The spokesperson went on to say that an alternative approach to getting the Mandalay into the hangar was also being investigated. This method does involve taking the wings off, something that a skilled ground crew can achieve in less than 20 minutes. The wings can be stored securely with the ship in the hangar. When the ship is needed again, it will take roughly another 20 minutes to reassemble the parts into a flyable spaceship. Zorgon is researching the implications of this wingless storage approach on fleet carriers and says it may become necessary to have 25 minutes warning before jumping to avoid damage to any Mandalays on deck when the landing pads automatically retract. Despite this potential inconvenience, Zorgon doesn't expect many complaints. The Mandalay will be a long-range exploration ship. By the time the new owners have spent a year exploring the dark side of Beagle Point and made their way back to civilization, Zorgon's 6 months parts and labour warranty will have expired.
In other news, stock in the Sirius Corporation has fallen after it was revealed that the corporation has failed to take over Achilles Aerospace. Demand for Sirius frameshift drives has tanked following the release of Achilles Super Cruise Overcharge drives, which are better in almost every way than the Sirius module. The loss of this lucrative line of business isn't an existential threat for a corporation that has its finger in so many pies, but the loss of its biggest single revenue stream must hurt. Sirius Chief Executive Lee Yong-rui's obsession with the takeover of Achilles has been described as unhinged.